Ooh, Suki gets a different voice take in the recap this time. Here she is last episode.
I knew you'd come.
And here she is in the recap.
I knew you'd come.
In this shot, the second guy from the end is shown without a shirt, but then in the next shot, he's got one on. And then a few shots later, he's back to shirtless.
You will all do as I say, or pay the price. You will all...
Seems like Hakoda should have to spin the wheel of punishment for this, right? Even if the warden somehow thought it was he himself that just tripped naturally, no way this guy would want to look like a fool in front of his guards and new prisoners. I'm thinking Razor Pit would do. Man, Hakoda's cell sucks compared to Suki. Suki had way more room and an actual bed. Hakoda basically gets a 6 foot by 6 foot box with a bedroll. Don't mind me, other guards, just gonna let myself into this cell. Like, this can't be normal guard behavior, right?
Thank goodness you're okay.
If you take one step closer, you'll see just how okay I am.
Look out for my honestly frighteningly big fist. Seriously, look at the perspective in this shot. His fist is bigger than Sokka's head. Hey, check it out. This guy has the same haircut as old banished Zuko. I think that makes 3 of them with the skull pony look. I'm telling you, this and the guy from the beach party. 2030s hairstyles. They're coming.
Where's Bato? Where's everyone else from the invasion?
The others are being held at a prison near the Fire Nation Palace.
Could be, right? It's not exactly near. It's a pretty good little walk, but comparably near.
There's no prison in the world that can hold 2 Water Tribe geniuses.
Then we better find 2.
Sounds like a major problem.
Zuko, are you there?
No, Sokka, I'm not here. They just let me out of my cell. Of course I'm here.
I just got done talking to my dad. We came up with an escape plan together.
What are you doing here?
Exactly. Fuck, Sokka walks around like he owns the place. Wouldn't he have like a supervisor or shifts or something? Or at least someone would start asking questions. This guy just walks around the prison and no one says a damn thing.
We have a new plan, but it's gonna need a big distraction. Be in the yard in 1 hour.
If you slow this down, you can see Sokka bites his tongue here, like brutally.
Where are you taking me? No! I didn't do anything wrong.
Come on, Zuko. We all know that's a lie.
I've been standing in the corner of this room to cinematically reveal myself, you complete imbecile. I don't know about you guys, but this is horrifying. I'd hate this shit so much. This is like perfect PG torture. Also, these guys have to be fucking yoked. Chitsang's a big guy, probably 220 at the very least. They're just holding him up here like this for torturous amounts of time. Do you think Chitsang just has a very small head, or the warden has giant meat claws for hands?
How did you know I was here?
The warden's my uncle, you idiot. I'm sorry that you have to find out this way, but I'm leaving.
Stop! This isn't about you. This is about the Fire Nation.
I really like that Zuko is apologetic, but he still stands his ground for what he believes in here. In a life of what he believed were necessary evils leading up to this point, even now he's resolute in the fact that leaving had to be done, even if it hurt May. That's a strong character beat for Zuko. It really shows how much his views have changed. It's like he's still Zuko. Just because he's changed doesn't mean he's not Zuko anymore. He's still strong-willed and believes in what he believes in and will sacrifice to achieve his goals. It's just that his goals have changed. Really good character writing. Wait, never mind. Suki only gets a cold metal slab elevator from the floor. Never mind. I'll take the bedroll, please.
What's going on?
I don't have much time. If I'm seen with you, the guards might think something's up.
Why did they take the time to animate his mask falling down and him pushing it back up? I really like that they did, but why?
One of you is an imposter who thought he could fool me.
Maybe it's the fucking child at the end of the line. I'm just using some critical thinking here, don't mind me. In an earlier shot, this guy definitely was not rocking a tash, but in this shot, he's muzzed the fuck up.
I know you've been working together. You threw Chitsang in the very cooler they used to escape. It was all part of your plan.
Wait, so Zuko and Chitsang both got thrown in the same cooler? After this exterior shot of the prison showing that there are exactly 1 million coolers? What are the odds of that? There's no way that was just a coincidence.
That was just a coincidence.
Shut up, you.
Sir, there's someone to see you.
Who does this guard think he is? Just coyly saying there's someone to see the warden? You better bow down, dude. Azula's not one to fuck around with and find out.
You're wasting your time. That's not one of them.
So Azula knows it would be someone from Team Avatar because 1, she knows Zuko's here, and 2, Zuko told Daddy-O that he was going to join the Avatar. Okay, so that does make sense. Just had to figure that one out for myself there. You know what I've noticed in the first half of this episode? This might be the most serious Avatar's ever taken itself. This episode so far, for the most part, has just been characters talking in blank rooms about shit they have to do in the moment. There's not really much to comment on. There's nothing they're referencing, not many jokes being thrown out. It's just a really tight and serious series of events happening with no cuts to other characters or other situations, which is really rare for Avatar.
This is it. We have to start a riot.
Okay, but how do we do that?
I'll show you.
Hakoda spies this big guy over here, and he definitely has hair, but then when we see him closer up, he's got a shaved head. Hey, this is weird. This guy has a swirly kind of tattoo on his shoulder, and so did June, if you remember her. June's was definitely a snake or something, but I mean, same part of the body, same shape. You think they roll in the same circles or something?
Aren't you mad at me? Well, normally I would be, but I've been learning to control my anger.
This isn't working.
You can hear them? They're way over there.
Actually, we're trying to escape right now, but we need a riot.
There's a 3 Days Grace joke here, but I never really listened to them, so take that 3 Days Grace fans.
Hey! Riot!
Holy shit, how'd this guy get up here?
Who let these prisoners into the yard? This is supposed to be a lockdown!
This guy blushes when the warden asks this. Is that appropriate? Am I unclear on what people blush for?
There's a riot going on. I'm here to protect you.
I don't need any protection.
Believe me, she doesn't.
Zuko and May have only been together since the fall of Ba Sing Se, and they've been back big chillin' in the Fire Nation capital since then. So would May have had any reason to show off how dangerous she is around Zuko? He hadn't seen her for more than 3 years up to that point, so was May just as cracked at knives and hand arrows when she was like 12? Nah, I'm probably just overthinking it. I didn't realize prison riots were so dusty. This is actually using the same kind of concept as those old cartoons did, where if two characters were fighting, they'd just disappear into a cloud of dust and limbs flying. Animating this many characters going crazy would be expensive and honestly annoying, and probably wouldn't look very good from the angles and distance of some of these shots we get. So this is a pretty simple and old solution to something that may have otherwise looked pretty janky.
Oh, I thought you thought this through. I thought you told me it's okay not to think everything through!
When did he say that? Ever? He scolded you about not thinking things through last episode, and since then the only advice he's given you was on not giving up. When exactly did he say that? And Zuko kind of agrees that he did say that. Was this in some other version of this two-parter script or something, and these lines still snuck in?
Fellas, I think your girlfriend's taking care of it.
Did anyone really get Spider-Woman vibes from Suki before this? Like, this seems like an enormous jump in Suki's abilities, right? She was a pretty good martial artist, but now she's running on people's heads and doing next-level parkour up sheer walls. It's cool and all, I like this move especially, but it seems pretty out of left field.
You wouldn't dare.
Sorry, Warden. You're my prisoner now.
This is kind of a callback to when Suki tied Sokka up that one time, I guess, if you really want to stretch.
We're almost there.
Yes, I know, Suki. I have eyes, thank you. In this shot really quick, one of them looked like they're wearing Water Tribe colors. Can't tell if it's supposed to be Sokka or his dad, but they definitely shouldn't be wearing those clothes. Zuko takes 3 hard kicks to break his steel handle. Okay, just let me write that into my thesis on why Zuko would beat up that one anime character. Fucking hell, dude. Add this to the list of Zuko's crazy jumps. It's pretty short at the moment, but it does get longer, actually. This one's fucking wild.
What are you doing? I'm making it so they can't stop us. Way to think ahead.
And here we get a little payoff for the Zuko never thinking things through beat. Good job, Boiling Rock. Okay, I always hear that Azula can fly based off this action scene, but she can't fly, man. Come on. If she could fly, she'd just fly out to the gondola. This is a rocket jump, straight out of Halo. Rocket jump, not flying. Tell your friends.
This is a rematch I've been waiting for.
Me too.
What a fucking great idea for a fight, by the way. Just a perilous platform above instant death. That's really different for Avatar, honestly. Most fights take place in a very wide open area that the characters can be really creative with. But making this one so close quarters and so apparently dangerous gives this fight a vibe not many others in the series can accomplish. It's really cool. Oh yeah, and like I've mentioned before, that the writers are so good at writing characters out of fight scenes that would skew them too far to one side. Usually it's Toph, but anyway, this time it's Katara. Sokka wanting to do this mission in secret leads us to not having Katara being able to bend boiling water at people and permanently disfiguring them. Though I'm pretty sure she'd have moral issues with that anyway and refuse to do it. Suki versus Ty Lee is pretty fun too. It's not very long, but I've always really loved the idea of bringing two characters that we're pretty familiar with from very different parts of the story together to see how they stack up. And this scene delivers just that. Notice how since Zuko's learned the dragon secret, he doesn't grunt or emote at all anymore when he's firebending? Before, he was very expressive when fighting. But now, when moving forward, he's pretty much silent. I guess that's supposed to speak to the fact that he's not using anger in his firebending, which is a really nice touch. Just push her off? You got her dead to rights. Nah, you're right. Let Zuko get a lick in.
They're about to cut the line! Then it's time to leave.
Rocket jump. Look, she ain't flying. Ty Lee, on the other hand, based off of this, may be able to fly. This is even crazier than Zuko. The girls aren't shown to be on top of the returning gondola in this shot, and they didn't just hop inside it, because after May's betrayal, they're definitely shown to be on top of it. This is a good moment for May, and I think I like her a lot more than most people do, but man, this isn't how throwing knives would work. She's pinning people to walls, sending them flying by dragging them with their clothes, but the knives would just cut through the clothes way sooner than they would ever drag people along with them. It's a very odd Avatar physics moment, but we need to have it because we can't have May just going around sinking knives into people's eyes to stop them. Very much a limitation of the Nickelodeon medium. I've always found this shot in particular strange. The back of May's head and some guard looking shocked in slow-mo. Why?
Sorry, Warden. Your record is officially broken.
I've taken this moment simply to remind the audience about your perfect record and to stunt on you for it being broken. And now I take my leave.
Leave us alone.
These guys seem to do the wrong salute to Azula, if the whack-ass teacher in Anji are to be believed.
No, you miscalculated. You should have feared me more.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 anime betrayals.
No, we were doing so good. Why is it a full moon? It's been so long. Shit. And even next episode, it has a reason for it to be a full moon. Ah, come on, dude.
I'm new. What's up, everybody?
Dad.
You can actually see a tear escape Katara's eye here if you slow it down. And I like how this reunion between Katara and her dad here is very much different than the one we got at the start of the season. It's kind of flipped. Like this time it was Katara and Sokka that had to leave him behind because they knew they had something important they had to do. Just like he had to leave them behind because duty called. This time it's probably Katara and Sokka laying awake at night wishing that it didn't have to go that way. So seeing them reunited and just happy to be together is a really nice way to end a two-parter, especially when the last two-parter ended on such a dour note. So once again, I think we have to treat this two-parter as one episode because, like I mentioned before, it's really paced out like one. Despite all the conveniences and contrivances of the first half, this second half really saves it. Azula is particularly threatening here because the three powerhouses of the team, who are usually the ones fighting her, are very apparently absent. So we're left with Zuko, who's never beaten her, and Sokka, who obviously isn't quite on the level of Azula slaying duty. So she's an even bigger problem than usual, one that needs to be betrayed in the long run to be ultimately dealt with, which is an awesome moment. Throughout the series, we've seen Mai and Ty Lee don't share the sadistic streak that Azula does at all. So to see her punished for it by her two closest friends is an awesome moment of comeuppance. It feels really deserved, but still very shocking the first time you see it, at least the Ty Lee half for sure. So overall, both episodes together, I like them. I think they're pretty good. Patron shoutouts: if you want to be 2 episodes ahead of the YouTube releases, you can support me on Patreon for just a few bucks. Link, as always, is in the description below the video. Biggest shoutouts of all go to my top patrons: Burb, who befriended an elephant who's available to ride into battle at a moment's notice; Buddha Jacker, who went ghost hunting once and accidentally exorcised an ancient Sumerian demon from a tool shed; Caesar's Ghost, who can survive in the vacuum of space; Charlie Rock Quigley, champion of the Zamboni version of the Daytona 500; Danger Stranger, who can get dizzy himself and then transfer that dizziness to anyone he wants; Daniel Ward, who was both captain of the football team and the chess team in high school; Emperor Tromedlov Dromai, who needs a wicked soul upon which to feast every few days or so; Eric Barney, who has the button that turns off the sun, but he's nice enough not to press it, etc., known as the classiest of the people that just drink the wine at the wine tastings; Finish Blood, who disappeared down a vertical cave shaft and then showed up back home a day later and he was a foot taller and able to speak Latin; Fritz Sullivan, who can't just moonwalk, he can moon sprint; Harrison Poland, Earth's ambassador to the Neptunians; Jared Berkman, who can ride 2 unicycles at once; John, who threw a boomerang so hard it went into orbit, I'm not sure if that one's ever coming back; Misha Boblov, who robbed a bank just to give the money to another bank that was about to shut down; Nopetron, who's invisible on Tuesdays and invincible on Thursdays; Pran of Prem, who caught lightning in a bottle and then drank it; Sean Martin, who isn't sure if the moment he'll ever be the closest he'll be to a giant squid has already passed him or if that's still coming up; Soup Cube, who loves a good bungee jump out of a single engine aircraft; The Sinking Bubble, who pays for everyone's groceries in the store every time they go; and You Frickin' Nerd, who won an immortal horse from the devil in a poker game. And my other fuck you money patrons: Agent Rhino, Brendan Murphy, Donnie Snow, Dylan Calvo, Dylan Roche, Garrett Kane, Honor and Cultivation, Jerry Kraft, Caitlin, Kennedy Stapleton, Leif Arnhammer, Luke Herrera, Mandatory Sin, Max Lewandowski, Nick Kapainen, Omega Fighter, RCNFL, Skylos, Sky Strider, Tiago Nascimento, Varunda, and Zoompi. And of course my god overanalyzers: Alex Fritz, Alan Garvin, Ali QPZM, Andrew Watrit, Austin Gallup, Be My Valentine, Big Thirsty, Brand Muffin, Cameron O'Solo, Canine Corpse, Charles Barnett, Dane Bertel, David Carlisle, DJ Jax, Do Mutual Aid, Dominic Saint, Distent, Earth 2 John, Eleanor Rose, Isaiah Wilson, It's Curtin, Jacob Fries, Jake the Garden Rake, James Hanlon, Jay Lambo, Jeremy Rubenstein, Jimbo, John Ajaka, Jot Moreland, Joshua Bone, Justin Scott, Kate and Connor Prendergast, Kadex, Keon Gilliland, Lady Serena, Lehman Russ, Literal NASA Rocket Scientist, Matthew Stargell, Mitchell Gobrecht, Mortius 007, Nickel Pickle 582, Nicholas Abbott, Omar, Papa Jaka, Papa Parker, Gas, Radiator Rat, Rocket Mist, Shadow Fox Nero, Sky Not Darkened, Spory, Steinwand, Super Snipper, Tiny Knight, Travis Chestnut, Triad Juice, Vavina Lockfire, Wilbur, Steady Paycheck Mode, Wolfman Dan, Wool, and Zawers. Next up is the Southern Raiders. Heavy one, oh boy.